If anything is due, I'll have that here, and I'll probably have it in red to Burger King you. Okay? I'll probably have it in red to catch your attention. So if you start scrolling down, you'll notice there are some things that are due. Like for example, there's a quiz due on Wednesday. Don't freak out. We'll talk about it momentarily. Don't freak out. Next week there'll be a quiz due on Wednesday. There's a project due week 3 plus a quiz, and those little red. The due things will be in red. I'll have them linked so you can get to them. We'll come back to that. I can see anxiety starting. Don't worry about that. Namaste. Deep breath. So nothing's due today. Obviously, it's the first day of class. I wouldn't pull that on you. One of my colleagues from a different school said, "Yeah, I gave him something due on the first day of class." I'm like, "How did you get it to him?" "I emailed him over the summer." I'm like, "Really?" And you expect them to be in a good mood when they show up. Please. Just excellent. What we did together, I will hyperlink in here what we did together. So right now, all we're doing right now is just discussing this online information, which I hyperlinked, which is kind of redundant. Because you had to get to there to get to here. I don't know why you clicked to that to get back to there. So now I'm saying that's out loud, that's kind of dumb. But whatever. So this is all we're going to be doing today. If we do anything else, I'll hyperlink that in too. If we do anything else. You might, as you scroll down, you might notice that, for example, Wednesday, what we did together, 0. Like, well, what the hell? Do I just stay home on Wednesday? No. I learned, this is something I did learn a long time ago. How many of you have ever walked into a class, first day of class, and they hand you a piece of paper that says, here's what we're doing on this Monday, this Wednesday, next Monday, next Wednesday, the following Monday, the following. I tried that the first couple of years I taught. What happened to me the first couple of years I taught when I tried that?
You got off schedule.
You get off schedule. How quickly?
Immediately.
Almost immediately. Especially in a class like Math 105 where I'm trying to kind of feel out where things need to be. I already changed what we're going to do on this first day and also what we're doing on Wednesday. I made up this thing called Equation Boot Camp. I'm like, this might be the way to go. Rather than spend, don't freak out. A little bit of anxiety back there, maybe. But this Equation Boot Camp idea. Hey, this Equation Boot Camp idea, I realized that so many of you might be coming into this class feeling a little bit anxious about just algebra in general. This class is not about algebra. Come on up, grab a seat. It's not about algebra in general. It's about data in general. But the thing is, algebra helps you understand data a little tiny bit. Every once in a while, we gotta solve an equation. Is that okay? Every once in a while, we gotta solve an equation. We're gonna do an experiment in a couple weeks where I take my bike up a hill, and you guys stand at various points of the hill, and you time me coming down the hill. And we're gonna figure out how fast I'm going when we pass the last group with stopwatches. You gotta use a little tiny bit of algebra to do that. Little tiny bit. It's not gonna hurt much. Maybe a little bit. But algebra is a tool. The thing about it is, if you guys took Math 65, you can realize how refined a tool Algebra 2, for example, can be. Factoring. We'll not factor in here. I don't like factoring, especially when applied to data analysis. Okay, there's other ways to solve stuff besides factoring. And we're gonna look at those ways in the Equation Boot Camp idea. We're gonna look at your Math 60, Math 65, Math 95 as one big thing and extrapolate what we need from that. Anyway, I tell you this because immediately I get off track with my scheduling. So rather than do that, we just come to class, do our class, and then put in our topics here with proper links to those topics. Also, I will upload the videos to YouTube, and this will be a link eventually. This will be a live link which you can click on, and it'll open as a playlist. So that's why you notice I keep stopping and starting the camera. I've learned you don't just put the camera on and then 2.5 hours later turn it off. That drives every student in the class insane, because if they only missed one thing in minute 46, they don't want to be scrolling through looking for that 1 minute. They want to kind of go through. So you'll have a link here that'll take you to the first video in the playlist, and it'll auto-load into the next few. Wednesday, I'll do the exact same thing. That playlist will feed directly out of this playlist. And then by the end of class, you'll have 200 videos that just show the class's progression. Make sense? You can watch the gray hair accumulate as well. And then other resources, this is something I added. I'm going to link whatever I can stuff in there. Wikipedia pages, Khan Academy videos, JC Math Tutor videos, whatever. If you guys have any ideas, if you find something you think is good, shoot it to me, I'll link it in there. This might be empty some days, it might have lots of stuff in it some days. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, but I figured any resources, if I can vet them for you, it'll save you the option of having to do it. The best resource that I can think of, what's the best resource do you think? If you get stuck on math at 2 a.m., absolute best resource you can think of to help you with Math 105. Yes?
The textbook.
YouTube.
That's not bad. Although the textbook is actually under the umbrella of what I'm thinking, believe it or not, because it's open source.
Going through your YouTube video?
That might, I guess what I'm thinking of is on average for every student. That might help certain students. This is a good point actually. I asked my students on the survey last term, how often did you use the videos? How many, how often? And quite a few of them said we used them once a week or once every 2 weeks. Very few of them said I used them every single day. I watched them every single day to watch up. So I don't know if that's the best for everybody. In general, if you get stuck, I would Google what you're looking for. Just simply type, if you're doing a linear regression, how to do a linear regression. If you're trying to use the TI-83 to figure it out, how to do a linear regression on the TI-83. In Excel, enter, boom, you'll get 8.3 million hits. And Google is so awesome now compared to what it was even 10 years ago. The PageRank algorithm is really, really, really slick. That's why I say the book is actually included in there. I'm actually included in it. Everything's under the umbrella of Google. Everything's in there. So don't ever forget. You can do math in, you guys realize you can do math in Google? You can actually type mathematical expressions in Google and it'll spit the answers out for you. If you didn't know that, you'll learn it in, well, you just did, I guess. But I'll make you do that in your first project, or your second project, I forget which. I think it's your first. I'll actually have you proof your own work using Google. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So it's a wonderful resource. Don't ever forget that. You guys need chairs. Come grab them. I think we have.
Allowed to come in? We need to ask you if we're allowed to come.
Oh, from David. Wait a minute. So what happened? Does he have enough students now?
No, we have like 8 people. We're playing ping pong.
We're playing.
We're going back and forth now.
So
This is all of us. This is everyone.
I was told by my chair he has to have enough to have the class run, and that's why I had to send my wait list.
So that's why we're back.
Why did he send you back?
You haven't taken roll yet. You don't know how many you have in this class.
Yeah.
Hang on.